I watched the mainstream media, corporate media, for the first time in quite some time, um, because of course, what's going on with all the protests after Eric Garner, which is, of course, after Mike Brown. Um, so I come in and it's on. So I start watching last night. I watched some tonight, and tonight I decided to watch Fox News just to see how they would cover this situation. And soon after I turn, Bill O'Reilly comes on, and even Bill O'Reilly has to say, there might be some wrongdoing here. Even he has to admit. Although not in the Mike Brown case, I guess they successfully labeled him a thug, who was resisting, a criminal, someone who's worthy to die. But Eric Garner, the video, I guess, and everything, they have to kind of compromise. But it's sickening the way they do it still. The stance that they take is still, I don't even want to get on Giuliani, who's claiming that, all these black people are killing each other. When I was mayor, I would save more black lives than anybody. And now all they do is scream about police killing black people when they're all killing each other. That's another video. I don't think I can do that right now. But he has these two ladies on, and they're debating, and he tries to make a little compromise by saying, on the right, there were some people that had these knee-jerk reactions. And they said, that he resisted. And that he deserved to die. But on the left, we have some knee-jerk reactors as well, and they're the ones that are saying, the cops are bad. And I'm like, whoa, you don't see how that's a really messed up, false equivalency there. Oh, well, these people are convinced that they know enough to say that person deserved to die. These people think that person was a criminal, he was resisting, he was in the wrong, he was a thug, he deserved to die. The other side is just saying, yeah, the cops did something that was wrong. They killed somebody. The cops were bad. The cops were wrong. Saying the cops are wrong or bad isn't really equivalent to you saying, well, this person deserved to die, to act as though, both sides are knee-jerk. Yeah, not exactly. One side is, I think, a pretty logical reaction to someone being murdered by someone unarmed, multiple people unarmed, innocent people being murdered. I mean, we're not just talking about Mike Brown and Eric Garner. We're not only talking about the couple that were killed, shot 137 times here in Cleveland. We're not talking about these people. Let's talk about, unfortunately, I can't remember these names, but what about the football player, college football player? He was stranded or something and went to a house for help. The police come and they kill him. What about the girl in Detroit? Or perhaps a suburb of Detroit, I want to say maybe Southfield. She, I think, had an accident and goes to this man's house, shot, killed. I think, though, in his case, he may have had charges. But the point that I'm making is that, this isn't knee-jerk. This is a response to something that's been happening a lot in the past couple years, and it's something that's been happening a lot forever, kind of. I don't know. So it's just interesting, man. I try not to get too riled up over Bill O'Reilly and just think, it's so, unsophisticated that I hope a lot of people are not swayed by it. I know that their audience is very old. Their average viewer is 60-something, I want to say. So I'm I try to think of those things and not just get too... But it's just the propaganda is so thick, and the substance is so lacking, and But anyway, I don't know. I didn't really think this whole video out. I don't want to keep rambling. Maybe I should just end it here. It's just interesting to see the way their minds work, or that is to say, assuming that's how their minds work, and this isn't just a part of the tools that they're using to maintain the control and influence that they have. But just the thought process there, this person deserved to die. I don't feel like I'm in a position to say that anybody has to die, even someone who's a murderer or someone who's a rapist. That's not my position to take somebody's life. Punish them, imprison them, of course. But I don't feel like anybody's life should be in my hands. But that's just the difference, I guess, between the two sides. It's don't try to make these equivalents here, because we're not talking about taking anybody's life. We're talking about justice. We're talking about someone having consequences for wrongdoing. I'm not trying to take anybody's life. But it's just like, man, maybe that's very that illustrates to a large extent just the conservative right wing thought process, the good evil, the power that they feel they're entitled to have over someone else's life. I don't know. Anyway, let me wrap it up here. I need to start getting ready for bed. Work in the morning, you know. But just some thoughts on what's going down. Change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.